Erotica short stories for lustful women. A steamy romance for adults. Written by Rachel Wilde. Narrated by Alexxia Michelle.
Diane envied her sister-in-law. Diane hadn't seen her sister-in-law Ellen in well over a week, though she had spoken with her the night before on the phone, learning that her brother Bill was out of town on business and wouldn't be returning until Sunday evening. "Any plans for Saturday?" Diane had asked. "No, not really. Just the usual, dusting, mopping, changing the sheets on the bed," she added with a smile in her tone of voice. Diane envied her sister-in-law in that way, knowing her brother as well as she did, remembering when growing up together how sexual he had been back then, and especially when he had met and had begun dating Ellen. Thinking back, she laughed. The number of times she'd covered for the two of them, keeping an eye out for their parents, if they were out for any length of time at all, just so her brother Bill and Ellen could spend the time fucking one another's brains out while she stood guard. She'd even seen them doing it, neither one of them squeamish at all, at her being there, which had on many occasions made her horny, so much that she'd ended up masturbating in her room later just for some relief. "He always did like fresh sheets," Diane chuckled, still remembering. They always aroused him for some reason. And now it was Ellen's turn to laugh. "Yeah, I know," she giggled excitedly. Ellen really didn't feel more like a sister to her rather than just her brother's wife. They had always gotten along very well, sharing secrets not only about Bill, but about some of the other men in both of their lives. When it came time to marry, Diane had been Ellen's maid of honor, and vice versa, when a year later Diane married Stephen. "So, how about you?" Ellen asked. "Anything fun and exciting happening for you over the weekend?" "Nah. You know Stephen," Diane said, once again trying to hide her disappointment, once again envious of her sister-in-law. "All he ever thinks about is watching the games, or going to them over the weekend. So I'll probably just curl up in bed with a good book later on and enjoy that." "Maybe you should make it a naughty one at least," Ellen suggested. "After all, we are meeting on Wednesday for the naughty book review," she reminded her. "Well, I'll certainly be doing that. But it sort of sucks getting all aroused after having read something and then half begging Stephen to even do something about it after I am." "Who said anything about Stephen?" Ellen quipped suggestively. Diane felt herself blushing over the phone. She'd been doing a lot of that lately already. "Yeah, well," she grinned back, speaking. "Even that gets old after a while," she finally admitted. They had shared a few more pleasantries, and then had hung up looking forward to their weekly little get-together with the rest of the girls, which included Ellen's younger sister Michelle and her partner, lover Sharon. There was also another woman who'd recently joined their group, Laurel, who currently worked for one of those erotic story websites, and who'd often read excerpts from some of the stories posted there. One of the highlights of their evening, as everyone had found, many of the stories she brought were highly arousing as well as entertaining. It just so happened that Diane's errands on Saturday brought her within just a few blocks of where Ellen and Bill lived. Since Ellen had already told her she didn't have any real plans other than cleaning the house, she decided to swing by and visit with her, especially as Stephen wouldn't even miss Diane until it was dinner time. Pulling up in front of the house, she saw Ellen's car parked in the driveway and knew she was home. Walking up to the front porch, she knocked. Inside, she could hear movement, expecting Ellen to open the door for her momentarily, but after several seconds without her having done so, she knocked again, this time getting a response, but even that an unexpected one. "Be right there," came Ellen's voice from inside. Diane waited, finally hearing the lock being turned, the door opening, though she'd been standing
Sample complete. Ready to continue?